Monday went down, we're live on the air. Networking, collabing, good vibes everywhere. From manic to magic, we're turning it round. Grab your drink, let's wind it all.
Resellers unite, share wins and some fun. Recharge your week, the best has begun.
Vintage finds and stories to share.
Two old guys and friends who care.
Monday went down, come join the crew. Relax, connect, discover something new. From manic to magic, the best show in town. It's Monday night, let's wind it down.
First in the mornings, originally from the Bayou State of Louisiana. Here at Cajun Roots Reseller, you make me an offer and I'll take it. You got the dollars, go see Johnny, he's got it all. Let him have it with no problem, see the special man.
See the special man.
You got the dollars, make me an offer. New England Cajun roots, Johnny understands.
Johnny understands.
Let him have it with no problem, see the special man. Let him have it with no problem, see the special man.
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Monday Wind Down. Hope everybody had a great Monday. It's currently 21 degrees, and it's been snowing all afternoon here. Yeah, so I've been indoors, no outdoors, except for with the dogs. First in the chat was Regina. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome, and thank you for being here. And Scarlett, did you make some kind of resolution for you being an angel this year or something? I've been seeing the comments in the chat. And welcome, by the way, little Debbie. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome. And how are you doing? Because I saw this comment right here. So I might have figured you may have done that for your resolution for the year. You think it's working good. Okay, cool. And dancing is going on in the chat. So I hope everybody had a great Monday. We had a good show this morning. And thank y'all for being in the members live today. And if you missed it and you're a member, you're more than welcome to go back and watch it because it is set up for members only. Still there for you to go back and watch. So today I'm going to be talking a little bit about retail arbitrage because I've been getting some questions and some great comments on the Friday show when we do the would you buy it or would you leave it, where a lot of the things that I show and sell 9 times out of 10 are either from buying on a line with YouTube or estate sales, garage sales, and anywhere we can actually resource our inventory. But one of the things I love doing is going to do retail arbitrage. I achieved my goal for today. Same here. I do goals. I don't do resolutions. I got a lot of my stuff done today. That's for sure. So anyone that does resell, have you tried or have you thought about doing retail arbitrage? Where you would go to any of the box stores, for example, you Walmart, Target, Walgreens, CVS, any of those places. I typically do not do retail arbitrage at your like dollar store, Dollar Tree. Very seldomly do I do that, and I do really well when I do. But that was when back in the day when it was $1. You don't see that too often anymore. Oh, I didn't get a chance to look. Darn it. I will do that for tomorrow morning show. I'm sorry. Let me Google that and see, because the only thing I can think of, let me Google that real quick. I know I've been so busy doing other stuff, answering emails. Let's see. In this is. All right, according to Google search, a resale certificate is a legal document that allows a business to buy goods that they intend to resell to customers without paying sales tax. So that is the tax exempt is where you have to file with your city and or your state. When I first started, I did do that with my state. Each state is different. So that is what I thought it was. It's basically where you can purchase things, but you have to have this reseller certificate. And that reseller certificate is basically tax exempt. So you don't pay taxes when buying to resell at your retailers' stores. The purpose of this is defined as a sales tax collection until the final retail sale at the end of the consumer, which means once you sell it, then you have to pay your taxes on it, which means that's when you have to file it with your taxes. When you register, a retailer buys inventory, then provides a complete reseller certificate to that supplier, which that's what I thought it was. I wasn't 100% sure until I Googled it. So evidently that's what that is. It's for you to be tax exempt, that you're reselling it for that reason. Misuse is a fraud if the certificate can only be used. It can only be used for purchasing items that is solely to be resold or become a component part of an item that is being resold. Using it for personal items or business operation supplies can be considered a tax fraud, and you can be in result of penalty, fines, and loss of those tax privileges. Each state is different. Reselling certificates are managed by the state level of the state you live in. Some states issue a specific pre-filled certificate for businesses. I used to do that in Louisiana when I had my cleaning company and my quilting company back there. And I had my restaurant and I had the gift shop. So in other words, you can get one, but you have to apply for it with your tax IEN number or EIN number. But each state is different. I know here in Massachusetts, there's one that I filed for, but it had to do with your home energy type, where you were able to get one as a business if you ran a business out of your home. So there's different types for that. That right here, where it is, right here. The certificate that you use for tax ID, with your tax ID, you do have to apply for it in your state through your state office. I have done some, but it's not my favorite way to get inventory. Yeah, because the only thing with that is you got to make sure you're doing it to resell. And that's what I thought it was, but I didn't get a chance to go watch the video. So I just Googled it to make sure, and that is exactly what it is. Now, I have one on file that I have to renew every year, every 3 years. And I know my city one I do every 3 years for the county that I live in. But when it comes to the actual state, you have to file it through the state for tax exempt, and that's what that's considered. My favorite way is family donating to me. That's good too. Patrick, hello, good afternoon, and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to see you. Welcome. Free is always awesome, but always exists. Yeah. And you got to be careful when you do that, because they do keep it on file that you're purchasing for reselling purposes when it comes to tax exempt. And that's what that's known as. Yeah, every place is different, every state is different, but that's considered tax exempt, and that's what that's more about. Little Debbie, so you do have to apply for it, and then you have to renew it every year. I think if I remember correctly, let me get my file here. Here's my business file. Let's see here. Let me find my tax exempt ones. Yes, you do have to use your EIN number. You have to let them know that you are an online reseller. And of course, you have to tell them what you're reselling and the name of your business, your tax exempt, on your tax ID. And then they actually give you a separate tax ID number, which is your tax ID for your tax exempt. It's from your administrating confirmation from your state, but that is going to be a different number than your tax ID number. And when you get that, that'll be what you would when you go to buy a wholesale or like when I purchase things from different wholesale companies, you do have to turn that in. And then this is called the Massachusetts Department of Revenue Certificate of Exemption. It's a small business exemption certificate that you have to renew every year. And it does go by the date you applied for it, not from January 1st to December 31st. So say, for example, you go in February 1st and you apply for it and you get it, then it'll be from February to February of that certificate, not your yearly January 1st to December 31st. And the reason I'm looking at that is because I see it on my dates right here when I got it. So yeah, I have to renew mine every September. Actually, no, it is December. Because I started it in September and it ended in December. Then I have to renew it in January. Yep, that's what it is. So I got my new one right here and it says January. So it is January to December. No matter when you get it, it'll end that year of December, and then you have to renew it for the next year. And it's a whole nother number that you have to keep up with. And not all retailers accept it. So you'd have to make sure you get with the manager of that store to make sure they take it. Missouri, you register for a sales tax license with the sales and use a purchase item tax for tax free for resale. Yeah, you have to do it through the state. So Ross accepts it. However, the middleman had an issue with his because the manager lady was uninformed. Yeah, you have to make sure you bring it from, once you get the approval and you get your actual certificate, that's what you have to use with that. And you have to use that ID number they give you. It's different from your tax EIN number. But you do have to apply for it in your state. And then they give you the certificate and it has its own number. And that is associated with your tax exempt number. You can only use that when you're purchasing. And I use it only for wholesale. I never use it for retail. Because I only use it for purchasing things that are on clearance. So I don't use it. Yeah, make it more difficult. So yeah, each state's different. So you have to look it up online. And you can do it online to apply for it. And you get your certificate right there. And I think mine was $25. Let me look at my receipt. I think it was $25. And you do have to renew it before that expires. I think it was like $25, if anything. Let's see. That was when I filed the original. This is when I submitted it to the wholesale company. Actually, no, that was nothing. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think it was anything once you renew it either. Nope. It could be free for your area. You just have to apply for a tax exempt number. I asked last night. Someone came in at the same time and the question got missed. I figured it could bring it up to you and see how you use it. Yeah. When you apply for it, you can apply for it online through the state. Once you get it, they automatically email you. Each state is different, so you have to make sure if there's any, evidently I didn't pay anything. Mine was free. But once you apply for it, You do have to fill out the form, your business number, your EIN number, your items that you plan on purchasing, what type of things you plan on purchasing to resell. And on mine, I just did it on it's called e-commerce because you're selling online. So you have to do it as an e-commerce seller. And they do ask you for your different platforms you sell on. And then once you're done with that, they submit it, you get approved, and then they'll automatically email you the link. And then they also mail you to your physical address to make sure that's your address to confirm it with your actual tax exempt license. So now we got to pay for speeding on YouTube. What? So you got to pay for 1.2 plus speed on YouTube? I don't know what that is about. I don't know about that one. EIN number is issued by the federal government. Exactly. But you do have to have that to apply for your tax exempt. Speaking of taxes. And I think with that statement right there, I think it has a lot to do with the manager that knows what's going on. But you have to apply for it and submit your paperwork to each location you're trying to use it for. I only use mine for wholesale companies. So they don't charge me tax on them. But yeah, once you set up, you get that EI number, then you can apply for tax exempt. And you have to submit that with your application. I don't think it's on everyone's account yet because I heard about it before I got hit with it today. Now, what do you mean by that? Is that the one that you add the your speed on your YouTube when you're watching it? Because it never works for me. I tried it. It don't work for me. Especially when I'm trying to keep up and it gets the wheel of death. Interesting though. I wonder why they didn't know anything about it at TJ Maxx. I don't pay for YouTube. I don't. We do have the premium, but you get up to 5 people on that one account, or 5 different channels or emails. Yes, I got a call. Pause. Got off the call. Was going to hit a 1.5 to catch up. However, now there is 4 in red. It won't go to subscription. Subscribe to premium. Oh, okay. Yeah, we always paid for premium. I've been doing that where you can get up to 5 people per family plan. Be careful, there's a difference between being tax exempt and reseller certificate that allows you to purchase items tax free. Okay, then what is it then? Because from what I understand, it is a legal document that allows a business to buy goods that they intend to resell to customers without paying sales tax at the time of purchase. And of course, it goes into detail saying that you cannot use it for personal use. It is considered fraud. You cannot use it for operation of your business supplies, office furniture, cleaning products, and can be considered fraud. But each state is different. Each state manages a different level. Some states issue a specific pre-filled certificate. Other states provide a temporary. I know when I was in Louisiana, I had to fill out when I had my tax exempt for my business where I had it was a gift shop, flower shop that I made homemade flowers arrangements and gift ideas. And when I had my restaurant, I had to apply to every business that I had that I was using to buy supplies for that company. But Louisiana was different because you have to apply to them with that certificate. And then, of course, you got approved or disapproved. And then, of course, you have to keep up with your certificate. Yeah, I'm surprised because I don't pay extra for that. Tax exempt status is limited to 501k charity and religious organizations. That is under tax exempt. Yeah, that's for not for that's under considered not for profit. Whereas a certificate, a tax exempt certificate for a business is different. You still pay taxes after you sell the items. And I only use mine for wholesale. Yeah, it's not a 501k. We're not doing a 501k. That's for not for profit. A 501c is for not for profit. Yeah, it's not. That's not it. Not the same. Yeah, that's for not for profit. It's different. Yeah, 501c is basically for those that are not for profit, and we're not doing that. I'm gonna make the church. I'm gonna make the Church of Patrick Murphy experience and get tax breaks on everything. So I hope that answers your question, little Debbie. And again, consult with your tax preparation for that, but also contact an email or go online to your state your state website and see what they recommend you do for you. Every state is different. I know it's different here than I did in Louisiana. It's a big difference because here it's totally different. When you apply, you just get it, and you gotta renew it every year. Whereas in Louisiana, you had to constantly use it wherever you went, and you had to apply for wherever you were going to use it. And they would approve or disapprove you, and they would have to submit the paperwork for you. Yes, indeed. So back to our topic of the day was retail arbitrage. How many of y'all actually use and shop for retail arbitrage? Now we got that out of the way with the topic from earlier. Yes, that is correct. Yeah. But again, I'm not a professional, but I do ask that you at least talk to someone in your state that deals with that. I only say what I know from my state or where I lived before. I do retail arbitrage from my day job. Good afternoon, Heather. How are you doing? Good to see you. Welcome. So, how many of y'all know about retail arbitrage, and do you also, besides Jay, do you use it, and do you like it, or do you have questions about it? I do. Again, like I said earlier, I don't do a lot at like the Dollar Tree, the Dollar Store, or the Family Dollar, only because I'm very picky when it comes to what they have. I have been successful with like space heaters, office desk fans for $1 each when they reduce the price in those for $1. I do well with those, but I don't just buy anything from there. And it's got to be the brands like Sunbeam. It's got to be a name brand. I do it, but more I buy figures and sit on them. Sit on them for a while. Yeah. The reason I'm asking that, and Kelly, hello, good afternoon, and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to see you. Welcome. It's the best way of us to get product in the sale that we cannot get through our normal distributors, but we know the passage we want. Okay. Retail arbitrage was big during COVID. Yes, it was. And be careful. I know I saw a lot of videos, which kind of got me interested in retail arbitrage when I first started seeing it, especially during COVID. I never had a good experience with retail arbitrage. I barely break even. I'm doing it wrong, probably. And I understand that. And Kelly, hello, good morning, afternoon, and welcome. And the reason I say that is because I remember Johnny yes, I did do a video on that with your app on your phone. I did, yes. Yeah, I do have some videos on that about using your phone and setting it, because don't forget, even though you're checking a price, use your eBay app. You can either scan it by a picture or scan it by the UR code. Because what's going to happen is 9 times out of 10, a lot back in the day, people were not using the barcode to enter it into their listing. Now eBay makes you do it. I have done some retail arbitrage, but not my favorite way to do inventory. I'm going to give you a little tip on what I do. For example, I just grabbed 3 things that I have getting ready to process, and I figured I'd use these 3. Because when I went to scan them, there's some good little examples. So for example, This is a puzzle. It is Panoramic Puzzle by Rebecca Polnick, and it's with the locks. It is a 1,000-piece puzzle. Paris Love Locks is the puzzle. Now, 9 times out of 10, everything has a barcode, right? So, for example, I'm going to use my phone. Now, if I know for a while there was a way you can lock it into only using what is sold, which I look for. But I look at 2 things. What's listed? How many of those are listed? Now, during the pandemic, that had me really looking close because there were so many people who were going out retail arbitraging and listing, but doing a video about it, but you don't know how long they did that video on, how long that was when they put out the video. It could have been a couple of months. But what's happening is they flood out the different platforms, especially with eBay. And so now you have so many listed, but not enough sold. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this example. When you go to your eBay app, you're going to go to the home page, and right here at the top, you have that little camera right here in the search bar. You're going to click on it. It's going to show you the box. You're going to hit barcode. Right here at the bottom, you're going to hit barcode. And I'm just going to aim it at the barcode. Now, on this puzzle, only one is listed, and it's got it for $14. It's $14. So what you're going to do is go up here to the little thing that says filter. You're going to hit filter. You're going to go to see more because it's not there. You want to looking for the word that has the word sold and complete. So you're going to have to scroll up. And you're looking for sold items. So you see right there where it says sold items? We're going to click that and turn that blue. So you see how it's blue now? Now I'm going to switch over and see if there's any sold. There's none sold, but there's only one listed. So for example, if you can get this for under $3 to $5, would you buy it? If it's selling or somebody asking $14 for it, would you buy it? Let's see here. You can see you're trying to go insane. Let me take that back. I have made small profit from Ollie's. I do really well with Ollie's. I think it's going to be this week. I have a doll I bought from Ollie's that I sold, which will be on Friday's show. Should be on Friday's show. When do a standard 3 times markup on anything we purchase for resale. If you're able to buy really cheap, we'll go higher. Yep. Angie, hello, good morning and welcome. I agree. I barely go with PA or retail arbitrage. Hang out with the office day, stay awesome. All right, Patrick, thank you. Hello, Ellen. Hello, good afternoon and welcome. So again, when I scan this puzzle, there's only one listed and none sold. The one listed is for $14. This one, by the way, is sealed. One of the things you want to look at is it exactly what you have. So let me get out of the sold and go back to what is listed. And it says brand new sealed for $14, but $9 on shipping. So would you buy it? I think a lot about Amazon resellers buy items from Temu. I do not buy from Temu. I refuse to download the app. So on this one, I picked up at a thrift store when I was visiting in Virginia. My cost was $2.98. Yes, because at that time there was only 2 listed and 1 sold. So yes, I did pick it up and it's getting listed. Now, this, I'm going to do the same thing. This is a Hawaiian Island, the Hawaiian Island coffee mug. Still brand new in the box. We're going to scan this one next. And this is just some examples. Barcode. scan. Now, making sure, this is a prime example. And you can do this with anything around your house just to get the use of it. For example, this one has, and this came from a place called ABC in Hawaii. It's a ABC store. You get to choose your free items when you spend $100 and you have $100 in receipts. You get free items. And that's what happened with this. I got this for free. So on this one, there is 1, 2. Now you got to look at exactly, because for example, all these mugs I'm seeing are nothing like what I have. So evidently they've come in different designs, right? So I want to look at what I have. So far, I only see 2, and I see a third one. That is what's listed, and it's listed from anywhere from $19, $16.99, $24.99, and the 5th one is $11.99. So I'm going to go to filter. I'm going to look at what is sold. Only one sold, exactly like this one, for $23.99. So guess what? I picked this one up because it's getting listed. Yes, I got it for free through Hawaii, through spending $100 worth of stuff. But you calculate your receipts, you bring it in, and you get a free item. And that's what I got on my item, the cup. And it's selling for $23.99. Of course I'm going to make sure I list it. But the mugs were selling, I think they were selling them, I can't remember what the price was. I want to say it was like $13.99 or something like that. I gave several puzzles this year as gifts. I was surprised on how well it went over. Everyone really likes it. Yes, especially when it's the bigger puzzles, right? I'll look at the barcode and see what's listed by, and then I will go looking by the title. Not everyone uses the barcode. That's true. That is true. That's what I was saying earlier. Because when I make any listings on eBay, I put the barcode on everything. Because for a while, it won't let you do it without it unless you put not applicable, which now almost everything is, unless it's a vintage piece that doesn't have a barcode on it. But if that happens and you don't have a barcode on something, screenshot the picture. And then you can also search for it on a Google Lens. But the rule of thumb when I'm looking at anything at retail overcharge is how many are listed. That I have the exact thing I have. Is it brand new? Is it sealed? So I compare everything that I have compared to what they have listed. If it's used others, I don't look at those prices. I don't look at those listings because I have an item that's new sealed. So I compare it what I have. Make sure you do that. Then the same thing with the solds. Is there items that are sold, and are they exactly like what you have? Because sometimes they don't use, some of the listings don't have a barcode. Some of them are used. Some of them don't even have the original package. So look at all of that before you buy it at retail arbitrage. What I struggle with is the cost of goods over ROI. Good night, everyone. Sleep time. All right, Heather, thank you so much. So yeah, that's why I look at both. But I do look at how many are listed compared to how many sold. But it's got to be exactly what I have. 9 times out of 10, if I'm picking up something, it's got it for me to pick it up. I have to make sure, and that's just the way I do things now. Retail arbitrage, if I can make 3 times the amount of what it's going to cost me or more, I'm getting it. Unless there's way too many listed, not compared to how many are sold. For example, this next item. This I picked up at Ollie's Bargain Outlet Store for $9.99. I bought it for me to use. I haven't connected it yet because I don't know how to use it. I need to learn what's going on with this thing, right? So if I choose to list it, when I look this one up, that's my eBay notification right there. So let me scan this barcode and see what happens. Barcode. And sometimes you cannot barcode because not everybody, it doesn't show up. So this one has new at box, same type. You got to make sure it's all the same audio streaming sound mixer. This one, the first one I see is listed for $35. but it's got free delivery, free shipping. Here's one that's pre-owned, open box, brand new, 2609. So that's the third one. That's a good one. Open, used, brand new, 2498, and 13, but that one's used. So there's only like 3 or 4 of them that's listed that I can compare to. But let me see how many sold. I turn on my sold button. So brand new, $15.99. That sold December 17th. November 22nd, one sold for $26.09 on a discount. Pre-owned, open, pre-owned. Brand new, $19.50 in October. So if I can get this for at least under $10, and if I can get at least 30 for it, that you're taking a chance on. But I use this I bought it for me to use. So this is just an example. If I was to turn it into a used, then I might think about reselling, because now it's considered an open box if I use and open it. So the big thing about the retail arbitrage is compare how many of those items are listed compared to how many of those sold exactly what you have. And a lot of times it just takes you to keep doing it. For example, like I said, if I'm going to buy something retail arbitrage, it has to be at least, I can at least make my money 3 times the amount I'm going to spend to buy it. Then I'm having to look at shipping it, packing materials, and all that kind of stuff, and listing it, and that kind of pictures, your time. So is it worth me doing? Sometimes I just like throwing the little things in there like that because it brings activity to my channel, my eBay store. But it also depends on what it is. It may go into another platform, depending on what it is. A lot of times, if it's one of, oh yeah, I'm going to get it. Especially if I find it at a thrift store. So if anyone has questions about retail arbitrage, please ask. I think it'll be a great topic that I figured I'd bring tonight. Renee, you won this morning. You and Becky are the only 2 left. I haven't seen Becky yet. You won the comment giveaway that I do on the first Monday of each month. And because I see you first, you get to choose strawberry moon pies, because your name came up on the drawing this morning, or banana moon pies. Congratulations. You were one of the comment videos. You want strawberry or banana? All right, Renee. Yeah, I understand that. Well, have fun. But yeah, one of your comments came up on the, anytime you make a comment about our videos that I put on any of my channels, you get entered into the Moon Pie comment giveaway, and your name came up this morning. So let me know if you want strawberry or banana. Banana, you got it. Get your name on that one right now. Now, these won't go out till Saturday, by the way, unless you want me to hold it a little bit longer. That means she's getting strawberry. All right. Got it. So let me get back to the comments. Angie says, that is what I do. 1/3 cost of goods, 1/3 over fees and shipping price, and 1/3 profit. Yes. And that's why I always love getting them as cheaply as possible, especially if I can find them on clearance. Definitely have fun, Renee. Banana, thank you. It sounds like I'm listing my family. Listing my family. No, I got you. Marco's on Saturday. What a nice surprise. You're welcome. And thank you for making those comments. And every month I do that on the first Monday of each month. And you're welcome. Yeah, I don't send those out till Saturday. So you'll be good. Okay. So yeah, and you got to think about it. You want to do both. You want to look at how many are listed of exactly what you have, because a lot of times, which was made in the comment, a lot of times you don't get a barcode that people put in their listings. So sometimes you do have to scan or take a picture of it to using Google. Or one of the things. Johnny, hey, hello, Susan. No sidekick. No, he had an appointment he had to go to, so he couldn't make it today. Thank you. Yeah, he couldn't. He had an appointment he got made this morning, so he'll talk to y'all more about it tomorrow. But he had to go for an appointment, a doctor's appointment. So that's why I figured we'd do this today. Um, so yeah, you don't be afraid to do retail arbitrage, but also be careful on. You want to make sure you do your homework, because I know during the pandemic when we had COVID problems, people were doing a lot of retail arbitrage, but you don't know how long it took them from the time they bought it to the time they uploaded that video. And what was happening was, if you go to, say, a lot of times, not every store has those same items. We had this conversation on Buffalo Picker not yesterday, but the week before. That not every store has the same sales on clearance racks compared to a week ago. Every store does it at a different time, so you got to be careful, because if the platforms get saturated, you may have to sit on your items for a while, and then your money's being sitting there. You do have to see how many are listed, because a lot are listed and selling and stay with. Exactly. There are so many times I go through the clearance rack. I don't buy everything, because I now have to be really picky on what I pick up through retail arbitrage, only because of the fact that there's so many people listing that it's just going to sit there. But I had to learn the hard way when I first started it, because yes, it did sound great when I saw a lot of videos about that, and it's like, oh, let me try that. But then you get to learn how to be wise about it and not buy everything you see. Now, don't forget, you don't have just Walmart, Target. You have Ollie's. You do have some things I do buy through the Family Dollar, Dollar Tree, or Dollar Store, but it has to be a name brand. For example, Sunbeam. I bought out the desk lamps. Now, this was after school started, college started, and they were clearing out these desk lamps. They came in either white or black. They were made out of metal, and they were Sunbeam brand that was also guaranteed to last for unknown amount of hours. So I purchased them all, and guess what? I sold every single one of them for under no less than $19 a piece. But they were the Sunbeam brand, and I did get those from the Dollar Tree for $1 a piece. But you got to be very picky when doing it. If you're a retail HBA, be sure to check your local grocery store clearance section. Yes. Now, also at HBA, you got to be careful with the expiration dates. Yeah, that's why I don't do those. I'm also selling more larger items on Facebook Marketplace, because shipping is so expensive for some bigger. Yes, that is a great place to do it. That is awesome. And so for me, don't forget, always when I go to Walgreens, CVS, don't forget to check their clearance section. Because guess what? After Christmas, or after a big event or a special holiday, I pick up a lot of Squishmallows from Walgreens for under $10. Sometimes even less than $5. And I'm doing really well with those. That's why you don't overbuy too much. If you cannot afford to buy a lot of them, just buy a few. As long as there's not a lot listed and there's a lot sold. You got to look at both. How many are listed and how many are sold. That is my tip for that. Because if I look up something, for example, say that one item, there's 10 items listed and only one sold, it's staying there. I ain't buying it. You have to set your limit on what you want to look at with what amount is listed compared to how many are sold. There is no right or wrong way to think about it, except for what you feel that is right for you. But for me, I wouldn't buy it. I don't care how cheap it is, because then I'm gonna have to sit on it or wait to list it to where I have to wait till to go to the bottom of the list. And some people really lower the price just to get rid of their stuff. And that's true, Kelly. Last year, I bought the 60th anniversary Barbie dolls, African American Barbie dolls, the 60th anniversary. When I purchased those, I did wait to list them because there were so many listed, but there was just as many sold. So I waited about 6 months to get them listed. And I'm glad I did because I got 2 of those left and I bought 6. Trends change, you could end up with a huge squish inventory and not be if you're not careful. Exactly. Yep. Cute, shiny. If you get me, if what you get me to bid, if from a regular store, it would have been sold super cheap to make it for the shipping, especially for the item that is heavy. Yeah. I try to stay with things that are not heavy. That's just me. Unless it's going in my antique booth, and I have 2 of those. Or if I was to start putting things up on Facebook Marketplace. You should also check how many are listed on Amazon by third-party resellers. Yeah, again, depending on what platform you sell on, there's even an app that I use. What was the name of that app? There's Amazon. Oh, is it on that phone or is it on this one? I can't. This is my old phone, and I don't use this one anymore when I go out sourcing. Let me see what the name of it was. Keepa, Keepa, which I use for Amazon, and that's one that you can look up prices, and it gives you an idea of how many are listed, if it's a good ROI, and that kind of thing. Is Keepa. It's an app on the phone that you can get for free. Try it out. I use it. Hey, Boo. Hello. Good morning, afternoon, and welcome. It could be morning for you, right? Kids are back in school, so I'm driving mom taxi again. Uh-oh. I have a dollar store, Family Dollar, 5 miles from my house. Can't see bidding, playing, shipping. I'm waiting for something to go just because I'll be back in 30 minutes. Okay, we're not selling anything today. Oh, Ellen. Maria, hello, good afternoon, and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to see you. Welcome. So, the biggest tip I want to give you on retail arbitrage is don't be afraid of it. Just be smarter about it by looking at how many are listed compared to how many are sold. And making sure that a lot of times, for example, sometimes I look up something and it says that there's 800 and something of it. But of those 800 and something, not all of them are exactly what I have, which is interesting. So yeah, you got to look and make sure it's exactly what you have. Is it in the same condition? Sometimes you'll see somebody that has it listed as used, but it's showing up in your total. So you want to make sure you look at all those conditions as well. Compare the both. What is listed, how many, and how many are sold at that time you're trying to purchase it for retail arbitrage. Also have to be careful because a lot of times Dollar Store and Dollar Tree are actually the best deals. And I know, Johnny, I'm saying those selling stuff from local cheap retail stores are not only getting my business. I rather go to the store at times. Yeah, some people can't get to the stores, right? So for me, though, I'm very picky when it comes to, I don't buy just anything from those locations. But it just so happened in this case, they did really well for me on the Sunbeam lights. And I think I only have one left of the little desk space heaters, which did really well for me as well. And those were Sunbeams as well, I believe. Tina, hello, good afternoon, and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to see you. One thing I have learned about selling on YouTube is many of the buyers can't leave their house easily. Exactly. That is true. So yeah, even if you were to do it for YouTube, just the same thing. Some people cannot leave their homes. For example, we know, rest her soul, Cody couldn't leave her home. So she relied on a lot of things being delivered to her home. There are some people who are, the health reasons, can't leave their home. So they do purchase to get things delivered. That is true. Yeah. Like jewelry and beads, Jay. I have a bent and dent place. Every now and then I find limited edition food that people are seeking because can't get them at the store anymore. Really? Hmm. All right, let me go ahead and drop the link in the chat before I forget. If anybody would like to come on up, talk about the topic of today, or if you want to just promote your channel, you're more than welcome to come on up as well. And again, don't forget, if you have any particular topics or anything you do that you can share with the community, those that have questions about things, let us know. We can turn it into a topic for the show and have you on as a guest. All right, the link should be at the top of the chat momentarily. But don't be afraid of retail arbitrage. That's one thing I want to say. Just make sure you do your homework and don't be at the point where you're going to buy too much at one time and you'll have to sit on it if you're not being careful. They can get you in a rut. I learned that the hard way from the beginning when I first started. Now I'm very picky when I do go retail arbitrage. Well, Crystal, I thought you were here earlier because you asked me a question. Welcome back. I thought I saw you early. Joanne, hello, good afternoon and welcome. Yeah, Crystal, I thought you were here earlier because you asked the question. I'm confused. Or was that somebody else? I'm looking. It might have been somebody else. Yeah, it must have been somebody else because I don't see you in the chat earlier. I can't go that high on the chat. All right. Well, welcome. So if anybody else has any questions about retail arbitrage, please ask. I can try to answer the best way I can. I just know from me doing retail arbitrage, I have learned to be very picky. Especially if I'm even going through like an estate sale, garage sale, thrift stores, I'm even more picky there because I want to make sure I'm getting a good deal when it comes to reselling. That's a good one, Angie. I remember buying $5 clearance blankets at Walmart. They sold full price or better for me. Sold 6, so for 29. What? Sold 6 of them for $29 each. That is awesome. So that's about 3 times the amount that you paid for it because of your fees and your shipping and all that stuff. So yeah, you want to look at all of that. Yeah, Angie, you learn the hard well knows. Yeah, especially when you're not actually relying on that income coming in that you used to. So I have to cut back, learn new ways to save. Yep. For me, even with buying no name brands of certain things, there are some things I just cannot give up my name brand. I just can't. Everything else I'm fine with. Yeah. Like this weekend, we went to BJ's, which is similar to like a Costco and a Sam's that we have up here. And the same brand, I had to get more toilet paper and paper towels. The same brand that I buy at Walmart, or even the brand from BJ's, was over $15 cheaper at BJ's, and you get more per pack. I told Robert, thank God we came over here for that, because we got more for our money and we paid less. All right, Abu says there was a $15 sweater at Ross was trending, reselling up towards $50. Pay attention to the TikTok trends. That's true. That's true. But again, still double check and make sure how many are listed compared to how many sold. That'll be your best bet. People don't know if it's Walmart stuff. Yeah, you're right about that. Dr. Pepper or Dr. Thunder? I'm sorry, but I got to go with Dr. Pepper. I've tried them both. Yes, I know it's an off brand from Dr. Pepper, but I got to go Dr. Pepper. I'm sorry. There's certain brands I have to stick with, and Dr. Pepper and Dr. Thunder, no, I just can't do it. I've tried it. I'm not a reseller. I'm hunting the sweater for a friend and found it on eBay. Okay, there you go. It works every time. I just can't handle it. Nope, can't do it. The TikToks. Don't want Chris showing. It's free. It's free. Yeah, you just have to apply for it. I don't pay for membership at BJ's. Nope. Now I do have a business account with my tax information, but I don't go with the tax exempt. I still pay my taxes and all when I go there. But I do have a membership. It is Mr. Pibb, Dr. Pepper combo. That's what Dr. Thunder is. I just can't. I can't handle it. I've tried. Nope. I'm sorry. I just nope. Gotta have my Dr. Pepper. Now I have to say, I can count on one hand since I've been living here, since I moved here, of how many Dr. Peppers I've had in 6 years. It's not all 5 fingers, I can tell you that much. Don't worry, boo, I'm not a reseller either. Just play one on YouTube. Patrick. I thought there was a charge at BJ's. Not that I know of, because I don't pay one. Yeah, I don't think so. Oh, maybe it does. I don't know. Let's see. BJ's is. Let's see what it says. Membership monthly. Membership are primarily sold as an annual yearly subscription, typically for 12 months, through a frequency offering promoted deals for members that can be low as $15 to $25 for the first year. Sometimes includes extra money for rewards. I think that might be right then, $15. But I know every time I purchase, every time you spend, you get cash back, and then that cash back adds up for you to take it off your bill. So, and you get coupons, and you have the app you can use. So I don't remember ever paying a membership, unless I just recently started. All right, BJ's club membership is $20 for the first year. I never. Pity Mama, hello, good afternoon, and welcome. How are you doing? Good to see you. Long time no see. All right, I got to go check the channel name out because I see the handle and I'm confused on who that is. Sarah Reynolds, hello, good afternoon, and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to see you. Welcome. Sorry to break up y'all. RC Cola Guy. Okay, I have not had RC in years. His membership. I didn't realize it was. I guess because it comes out of my card, or I get cash back every time I spend on my card. Just root beer. I don't remember that one. We get coupons and emails sometimes for discounts on membership. Yeah, right now they're running it as a 20 for the year. I guess there is then. I didn't realize it. Yeah. You keeping your mouth shut on that one. But I guess because I have it on my card and it's just an annual thing that it's a business account that I have. But I do get cash back. Like this past weekend, we got cash back of like 90, almost $93 on our bill. It just works. I don't like discount stores. Their clothings are cheap. Looks looking and only buy them items. Yeah, they had a big sale this weekend too, where they had different types of clothing that had four different colors. It was yellow, red, blue, and green, and each one had a different price. And Robert and I picked up a nice little jacket, a hoodie, nice and comfortable too. Lenore, hello, good afternoon, and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to see you and welcome. So here is something fun. The 1.5 speed still is available on this account, but not on the work account. Okay, that's interesting. We gotta go run errands. All right, Maria, thank you for coming in. That's right. Happy New Year's to you. But again, even with memberships, it's a tax write off, especially if you do that as a business account. Because I've been doing it now for 6 years, and I just run everything through the business debit credit card. But when I get cash back, I use it towards what I need. You said you don't have to pay PJs. We do it in Delaware. Yeah, I guess I don't know because it comes through my business account. I just pay it when I buy gas because I get my gas there and I save 10 cents per gallon. So yeah, there is a membership. I did look it up. I don't either, little Debbie. I think the most I get is 1.5, but it never works for me. It doesn't work, so I don't use it. So yeah, BJ's is a great place to also. I don't buy retail arbitrage. I just buy stuff for the office and or the house. But some of those give you cash back that you can turn around and purchase things for yourself as well. So use it. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. This can come back over here. Yeah, I don't think mine goes as high as 1.2, 1.5, I think. I don't know. I gotta look. I can't do that because then it's gonna go. Yeah, I can't do that on there. You get times three. Again, I haven't used it in a while, so I think the last time I did it was 1.5. I think. Oh wait, I can do it on here. Let's see here. YouTube. I don't know. Can you do it on your phone? YouTube. No, that's not what I want. I want YouTube. Home. Why is it all short videos? Oh my Lord Jesus! I'm not used to this on the phone. Oh, I don't want shorts. I want regular videos. Oh, no wonder it's on the shorts. Why it's not letting me do? I'm not used to doing this on the phone because I usually don't watch it on the phone. Let me just go here and see what happens. Is it where is it? I don't see it on my phone. Oh, there it is. Playback speed. Oh, I do have 3.0 on my phone. Actually, I got it up times 4 on the phone. I got it now. I figured it out. I'm not used to it being on the phone. I had to go to the top, the little wheel device at the top of the phone. So yeah, mine does go up to 4. The most I've ever saw before was 1.5. That must be something new, huh? Well, I have premium on that account, and it's not showing up. I mean, it's showing up. You can watch up to 3 times. Did you get my email earlier today? I asked you in the chat if that was you that emailed me this morning. So if it is, yes, I got it. But I was waiting for you to tell me something in the chat. You didn't tell me what month or nothing. You just said if that's the email from you, please make sure you type in the email meet portion of the email, because when you type everything in the subject line, it's a little confusing for me. Touch the screen, touch the gear. Yeah, I got figured that out now. Like I said, I'm not used to watching it on my phone. Very seldom I'll watch anything on my phone. Watching on anything other than a normal speed won't count towards the watch hours. It doesn't count on when the mute. Yeah, I know it doesn't count on mute. I did a experiment on that. You right about that one, Abu. Wow. All right, so you want the April 7th? All right, got you, Crystal. You got it. I just replied to your email. Yeah, make sure you use your name and stuff in the email portion of it so I know who you are when you email me. Because when you were here this morning, I asked and you didn't reply back, so I wasn't sure if that was you or not. Yep, got you down for 12:45. You're welcome. Well, everybody, it's getting to that time. Again, if you have any ideas or topics you would like to have for our show, you're more than welcome to email me and let me know. Also, please don't forget, tomorrow morning we'll be right back here at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for your morning boost. And then tomorrow at 12:45 is our first lineup for the reseller community rapid fire round for those who are members of the channel. But I do go live starting at 12 o'clock. And of course, Wednesday we do have our hump day auction. And you get double dose of Miss Marianne this week. So if anybody would like to come on after the show is over, the link is still at the top of the chat. You're more than welcome to join me after the show is over. So as I say before I end each and every show, love always, love is always free. Please be kind to one another till we meet in another chat. Have a blessed and fabulous day. And until we meet again, later. Peace out. And y'all come back now, you hear?
First in the mornings, originally from the Bayou State of Louisiana. Here at Cajun Roots Reseller, you make me an offer and I'll take it. You got the dollars, go see Johnny, he's got it all. Let him have it with no problem. See the special man. See the special man. You got